Nah, man, nah, bro. Don't even get it confused, man. It's deeper than all that. Trust me, man. It's right in front of your eyes, man. They got buildings all over the spot, man. They got one right next to Stealth, fam. Bro, I'm standing right outside there now looking at it, man. You look on the windows, you see all them Mondays logo all over it, man. Sonic all, fam. You get me? I'm a Sonic Police. Come on, man. You know what it is, man. Don't get confused, man. Don't get it twisted.
Watch my actions, hear the things that I say. Cause I don't play games like people play. I ain't part of the sneaking, I ain't part of the hating, I ain't part of the bullshit, and I ain't part of the waiting. I ain't waiting for no one, so I'm part of the making. You looking to take you higher, I'm part of the elevation. I ain't part of the problem, see, I'm part of the plan, part of putting it into action. Yo, part of me, fam, I'm trying to do something here. You ain't a part of it, damn. Look how you're in her, you just pushing up yourself. You're too exo, you trying to get.
Yeah, man, more power, more love, my family. I don't sleep my general.
Blackface, black power.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Blackface, black power, you with me? BFEP all day, every day, you with me? Straight like that. Shout out the family tree, them, you with me? Respect, you with me? Sister Claudia, you with me? All them, man, you with me? Shakara, all the family of me, you with me? Roachy, everybody. Yeah, so boom. Respect for coming past and through. Obviously, you always here at the More Lions Kingdom spot, and because you're a real king from way back. You're real general. So, boom, you with me? We just here right about now, holding a little vibe and holding a little reasoning with me before the camera started rolling with me. So, most of the things what we're reasoning about anyway, they're kind of the things what we're gonna cover and talk about today, because it's kind of like community things what's changed from back in the day, because you're an old school general. For man who don't know this face here, you need to get to know this face and have manners and respect, you know, because the elders, they salute Gully, you get me? Old school, you with me? Veteran, so yeah. Yeah, you don't know my family, you with my elder, you with me? So, saying that, you with me? For those who don't know, you get me? This is street education, you with me? And one order between the family tree, you with me? Because enough man going on like the generals, but generals do general things, and certain time man warring and bickering over idiot things going on like on some gal.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. Certain things pop up certain times. I ain't gonna lie, like as a bigger man. Certain times like certain things pop up and you feel like, boy, like I could have prevented that. You know what I mean? Like so easy for me to like make that a prevention, like get that you talk. You know what I mean? So like, you know what I mean? If you can, I feel like if you can do something, you owe it to yourself to do it. Right? Fuck being left with that. I could have done something. And next week, you know, you're carrying a used casket or something like that. Man.
But you're a man, like obviously that's why I salute you from day, cause you're still, as an elder, you still keep it funky with the youth stuff. You with me? So it's not like, oh, you're an elder, but you're not about with the man, them or not conversating, or you're too nice to rap with the young G's or rotate because we've always kept it funky as an elder to elder G to a younger G, you with me?
Yeah, done that.
So at the same time, certain elder G's don't get involved with the youths, man, like that, or they don't give them any guidance or constructiveness, like, cause man would be doing the badness, you're known for your badness and done your badness, but certain time you wouldn't want the youth them to do certain things what you done. So you would say, no, Wince, yo, do this or fix up and don't or next man, yo, don't walk with this or
man.
Do your thing neat.
This is the thing though, cause you see, I think it's important, like for the elders and the youngers them to have that connection, like
more love in it.
Yeah, because you as an elder, if you've been through certain things, then you can pass that little lesson that you learnt onto the youth a bit quicker, so that they don't have to go through it. It's not all the time they're gonna take you up. You know what I mean? When you're young, you're young. You don't want to.
You must feel
the
hard way sometimes.
I swear to God. You know what I mean? But like, there's a saying like when you're ready for the lesson, like the teacher will appear. You know what I mean? And it's one of them sort of things. So like you'll find the teacher from when you're ready to find that lesson. You know what I mean? When you're ready to learn that lesson, you'll find the teacher. So it could be from someone saying something to you, or it could be from you going through it. Whenever you're ready to learn that lesson. You understand? But I feel like if you as an older's been through certain things, you have to at least try and talk to the youth them. And then furthermore, you can't be one of them elders that sits in the yard cussing the youngers them. The youngers them told bad, them told this, them told that, and you don't you don't mix with them. The only time you mix with them is high and by in the crib, or like little family events. Like when they live in reality, it's reality for the younger.
They're not there when serious issues happen.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like when certain things are going down, and this youth feels like he might dead tonight, cause these man are on his back and they're trying to lick back up his head back. Like they can't go back to say nothing to the family because it's bare judgments and bare. Do you know what I mean? Like because the elders seem to have a us and them sort of approach to it. Like, you know what I mean? Like the youngers, them are supposed to know their size and know their play. Listen, from you reach what, say late teens or something like that. Like you kind of a man now. You know what I mean? From you 16, you definitely a man now. Like so, like man have to be able to relate to the youngers. And if a younger can't come to you and tell you nothing about how his life is, then you don't know that younger. You can't tell him nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Is that where you would say a younger would lose respect for an elder then? Because there's no relation, there's no interaction, there's no care.
I don't know if you do gonna lose respect for them, because a lot of my elders I had bare respect for and I still got respect for.
Yeah, definitely.
But when they're telling me don't do this or don't do that, I ain't hearing that. I ain't hearing that because you don't know nothing about what I'm doing out here. You don't know this. This is, you know, your life, like, and we're living two different lives, and that's because there's a divide. You know, like when you're out here now with the youth, they can see you're out here. Do you know what I mean?
But you as coming from a different generation, you might have, like you said, you respect your elders, so you just, even if you may not agree with what your elders saying and still continue doing what you're doing, like you said, at least you take it on board and just hold it there. Where the youth them of today now, wouldn't you say that they don't respect their elders, and they would probably, cause like, what do you know then? And you're not doing it, you're not on your thing, you can't tell me. It's a different approach to how you would behave as a younger back in those days to how the youngers behave in this day. What would you say about that?
I say that's a sign of the times. I think that's a sign of the times, because bearing in mind a lot of the younger elders now, like were those elders that was in like my sort of generation, do you know what I mean, and rebelled against their previous elders. You understand? So like when the youth see you do what you've done by saying F what mum or dad said, I'm on my own thing. You can't really like knock the youth for then saying, well, F what mum or dad said, I'm on my own thing. Do you know what I mean? Because like that's the kind of the trend you set. Do you know what I mean? That you haven't followed what you've been shown, and they can see that. And furthermore,
so what you're saying, the elders not showing the youngsters nothing productive to make them respect them for them or continue respecting them?
No, I'm saying like because of there's already been a divide. They can already see a divide between you can already see a divide between your mum's generation and your grandparents' generation, and the way they think and bring children up and all that. Do you know what I mean? And then there's a divide again between
the lower ones.
And if man ain't mixing with them, then you're not gonna know them. So this is why you're gonna get this divide, because people. How many times have you heard elders and like, oh, they used them are this, they used them are nuts, man. They used them about mad and wait. They used them ain't gone mad. They used them ain't gone mad. It's just that the way that they
need some guidance.
Yeah, they need some guidance.
They need some love. They need talking to. They need. We're not in the same situation that they're in no more. Do you know what I mean? Like when you're at them age groups now, like you got school, so you got a certain amount of hundreds of people that you have to associate with. So do you know what I mean? Like it's a different thing, and it's a different environment. Then you got the roadside too. Because when you're them age there, you don't have your own house generally. You know what I mean? Most of you haven't got your own car. You know what I mean? Some of you might be whipping. You know what I mean? But like. So a lot more youths are out on the road as well. Do you know what I mean? They're forced to be out on the road. Force ride it's called.
Well, because of the age group now, like man like us now, if we're bored, we don't have to be out on the road. We can be in our yard. Youths, when they're that age and they're bored.
You got some youths. Well, when I say force ride, I mean like because they haven't got no elders or peers around them, because their parents may be out or not about, or single parent, no father around them, then maybe that's why the roads have had to grow them up. When I say force right, they've had to grow up early.
The forward.
They have to build the roads grow up them.
And personally, I think that, like I said, I think it's just a sign of the times, because like the youth, the way that they're living, they're more in a, it's more likely it's more likely for them kind of interactions to happen. Do you know what I mean? More than it is for someone that's like 30 plus, because they don't have to be. They have a house. More time they have a house or a car, or they've got location.
They don't have to be on the street.
Yeah, they don't have to be on the roads, and they don't have these hundreds of people that they have to be around all the time. And at them ages there, when you're young, you're wild. You know what I mean? It's a lot of testosterone, boogieing. Interactions are gonna happen, and man are gonna try. But our thing, see what I think. Where our problem is that we don't have no regulation. So when the arguments are gonna happen, people aren't always gonna get along, and we are very ignorant set people. So we should have some sort of way that we deal with this. Do you know what I mean? Like, and so that people don't have to dead. You know what I mean?
So then what would you, because you're right, my brother, you're right. You admit, yeah, what General says, you admit that obviously we should regulate that, you're trying to say that, but how or what would you say would it take for us to regulate them? Because basically you're on about fire upon the police and we don't need no rat on rat thing, because we don't need to sell out our brothers and sisters, you get me? No Babylon thing, but it's a form of policing yourself then, protecting and securing yourself, your people. So how or what would you think that would take then? What would that take to do that then?
What, to start regulating between ourselves? Personally, I think like it takes for everyone to make a conscious decision of what they're gonna do on themselves, guys. It's not something that you can like enforce on people as far as, but I'm talking like as far as like when the youths them are going off with certain things, we need to find some sort of way now where they can make that outlet without needing to kill themselves, without needing to
tit for tat.
Do you know what I mean? Like catch it before it gets to a knife him or shot him stage. Do you know what I mean? So yes, you're gonna have your arguments, but just grab these youths. So, cause certain time, look, we've all had friends where this friend and that friend wants to fight, and then when they come together now, my man tries to pull out a knife and call you both friends. You're like, no, we'll take that knife. You lot can fight on the grass and everything, but take that knife off him. Yeah, where's he going with that brick? Take that brick off. Do you know what I mean? Like,
calm down the situation.
Do you know what I mean? Some regulation. Some regulation. So like, yeah, these lot are gonna fight. Yeah, but like, let's not let them kill each other. Do you know what I mean?
So that means it would take either man them who's around man them what's got contention to obviously be a real man and say, you know what, if I'm around man what's in any effort, you admit, but I know a man in the next sector or the next side, be a big man and say, you know what, yo, you talk to your people, I talk to my people, and let's try and dead this thing. Yeah? Or it takes if generals who are elder than that see younger generals on some mad hothead thing where they pull up their youngsters and say, yo, boom, yo, you man dead at that thing, they nip that in the bud because I got a couple people on that side still, and obviously you're my young gun and obviously they're young guns and our two young guns, they can't wild out like that. You with me? But certain elders ain't doing this thing, fam. Sometimes certain elders are providing certain things and say, yeah man, make sure you
that's another thing.
Hard. You get promoting the fuckery.
And that's another thing. You know what I mean? Like when youths are going to do certain things and going to do certain things now, yeah, like if you're a man, furthermore, talk to if you're a man that will come to you and say, yo, let me hold this or let me get that, let me get this. If it ain't about money, fam, if it ain't about money, and you just need it, allow it. Show some backbone, show some marble, innit? You know, one of them like. This is what I'm saying, where it takes like individuals to make this decision. Because I can't, I can't go round the hall and say any man that's give a man a thing, like I'm gonna go wrap him up and because that's just dumb and that's just like I'm just gonna start a whole heap of thing. You know what I mean? Like it takes man to make that decision themselves now. But we need to start looking in ourselves now a bit more and start seeing how we're facilitating this thing. What? So the youth's coming to ask for a thing, you don't know what is. Nah, don't give him nothing, man. Don't give him nothing. Don't give him nothing. Don't promote that. Better still, like he says, you want it for that? Let me jump on the phone. I know my man's cousin or I know my man's people. You know what I mean? Like start being a bit more proactive in this thing. If your brethren's hyping and thinking, nah, fuck that, I'm gonna go done this you. Wait, my man can't do that. Talk some sense to him. Don't be the dickhead next to him talking shit. Yeah, black. Yeah, come Carl, we're gonna fucking.
I don't like my man anyway.
You get me? Like, don't be the dickhead talking shit, man. Like, Carl, fucking. Enough man are playing with this thing, but fucking when people are carrying caskets, fam, and when you carrying, when it gets real, when it gets real now, all that plating stuff, it goes out the window. Like a lot of men are acting out movies in their head, and it's all good and dandy when things are going out. But then when their brethren start getting shot and popped and stabbed, then people around them start getting hurt. That's when it stops being fun, and they want to do something else now. Well, let's done it before it gets to that. Don't be that dickhead next to your brethren chatting shit, hyping him. When your brethren says he wants to go on a hype team, look at him big and serious. Be the brother that's talking some sense to him, like, yo fam, big and serious, what are you dealing with?
Was it all over anyway?
Yeah, like, what's this over? Oh, my man beat your girl. Was she yours anyway? If my man can beat your girl, do you know what I mean? Like, be the one that's gonna spit some jewels. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, don't be the knob. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, everyone's gonna need their little bit of backbone or their moral in themselves. I can't do this myself. You can't do it. We all need to like start thinking and being a bit more proactive in this thing. Am I gonna watch these two youths? I watched the thing on Facebook the other day, blood, and I had to lick 2 shots after I watched the thing. Like, no, God, there was 2 youths in America now, yeah, there was a side of the street rolling. This black brother just rolled up, I was rolled up and he stopped and he chatted to him and saying, look, all these man, you on your phones, you lot all cowards, they're one of them, and they start pointing out, man, and it's basically, it's showing, like, yo, these men are all watching and laughing because they just want some entertainment and they don't give a shit. You're vexed and they're laughing. Check it out. You're vexed, they're laughing.
Entertainment.
Do you know what I mean? Like, are they really your friends? Cause they're not. If they're your friends, they should be vexed along with you, shouldn't they? But they're laughing, filming. Fuck that. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't be that dickhead. Do you know what I mean? And if they got them kind of people around you, don't have them around you. Do you know what I mean? Start being a bit wiser, be a bit more proactive with this thing. When you look at who you're rolling with. Is this brother that I'm rolling with, is he gonna be the one that's gonna be talking shit, saying, yeah, let's do this? Cause you get them ones there, they talk the most shit, and then when it actually comes off now, yeah, they're just trying to hype you. So they're talking shit to watch you go. See what you're gonna do. They ain't trying to do shit themselves. They just want to
get stripes off your name. You with me? Like they've been putting in work when they have been putting in their work. That's how it is. So then, wouldn't you say then in the era, because you're an elder for me as well, and it was even that in my time then, because obviously when I was growing up, you get me. True, say I am who I am now. Yeah, the elders know who I am. You admit, so you can't get away without people saying, oh, yo, you're red son, and red. So you have to know when you're doing your badness who was around and what's going on. Because you're gonna get pulled up, or it's gonna go back to your mum or your dad or whatever. So I know you come from them eras there where even them times there when you just walking after from school or people drive past and some big people see you do something, you know that no, them things are gonna reach home before you even get home. So you know that mind how you walk then basically. Do you think that people don't even care about what's gonna go back to their parents now, what their family's gonna think? Like they don't respond to that because people haven't got the respect and they just do what they're doing anytime, any place, anyway.
I think because it's that divide, yeah. So because of that divide between the youths them now, yeah. People don't. A lot of people are scared to even say anything to the youths them. They see 2-3 youths them, they ain't gonna say nothing to the youths them because the youths them just wild out and fuck off. Wait. Pull out a shank, wait. Do you know what I mean? They know how to use them talk. Do you know what I mean? So like, a lot of people wouldn't even say anything to the use them anyway. And this is an issue because the use them aren't relating to you. Because bearing in mind, like, the community was a lot more tighter them times there. So nowadays, like, people don't even know who their fucking neighbour is. Never mind, you know what I mean? So like, when people are seeing youths and shit like that now, like, they might not really know too.
They're wary of them.
Yeah, they're more wary of them than because this youth can be from anywhere. Like, although he's round here now, he might have just moved around here this last month from wherever. You know what I mean? Even though he's in the mix with a couple of the youths them from around the way, you don't know about this other youth, and you know what I mean? Like, so it's a different time, obviously, but there's that divide again. Like the youth, it's us and them, innit? So like the youths them wouldn't get approached the right way. As an elder, do you approach the youth them the right way, or do you just walk up to them and like think that straight away because you're an elder they're supposed to respect you and listen to everything you say because you're thinking in your old school ways, like of how you was brought up with your order, and do you know what I mean? They don't. That's
when we was in order, but everything's out of order now,
bro. Like it because is so much like that now. That's why you can't really try and approach them with that same approach. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't just approach a young gun on the road and just try and talk too hard to him now, just because you're older than him. Don't try and take the piss, blood, because fucking it's not them times here. This youth might be thinking about 10, 15 man that just chased him earlier on. Couple of them had knacks and was trying to joke him up, and he's just got away from this and all that. And now you're trying to tell him about fuck off your car. We're talking to him too, this thinking, what? You know what I mean? Like, you got to think different now. It's not that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just fucking talk to the youth. Like,
so you said it's a respect the youth and but the youth then must respect the elders too.
Yeah, that's how you mean. It's definitely. But like, I'm just trying to say, like, with the divide, there's a difference in the way we as most elders would approach a young gunner, and the way to get a young gunner to respond. I'm saying this because I've worked with young gunners in it. So I'm saying that I can, if I'm trying to teach a young gunner, I can try and bad him up. Do you know them? And yes, I could physically beat him up, or I can shout him or whatever. Calm. That's all calm. I might even be able to do that to his dad. Cool, that's calm, but have I got through to him? Have I taught him anything?
You know, you just obviously built like I don't even like
you know what I mean?
That.
So like, you start to learn ways to get through to you, and it's not always just approaching them like you have to listen to
no,
me.
blood, we come back from tough love, so tough, that was the way as well, you know, fam. It's a balance.
It's a balance, blood.
Because the tough love what made man tough. That's what made me a general, that's what made you a general, that's because you had to know thyself. You get me?
It's a balance, bro.
Know your role and know your position. Like, you couldn't talk to the elders certain things, and like you said, you had
different times though, do you know what I mean?
But
like,
you know
so
what?
like, we can do that tough love with the people.
But even though you said you're right, different times, but what we have to say, what makes something a different time? Because you're right, I'm not saying that, but we question ourselves now, because we're wise to the thing. And the only thing what makes it a different time is that we, from that time to this time, let it go. We let it go.
Blood, we
got loose with the thing.
If you look
with the
at
family tree.
Yes, we did. And if you look at our communities, like, our communities aren't tight like how they used to be. It's a mad thing. Like, back a day, when we first land, you see, if a policeman come put him amp on you on somewhere like Radford Road, see everybody wanna come out the shop and all them kind of things there, and ask policeman about what's he doing, and it's all a commotion, like, hey, what? Let them do that to you now. People can walk past you, someone might even wanna film you. You know what I mean?
You see yourself on YouTube.
Ain't no love again. You ain't my brother again. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that. It's not that.
Giggle.
You know what I mean? It's not the same feeling of like, what if you're doing that to him, you're doing that to us. It's kind of that. Everyone's got that.
Man should be sharing it or whatever. If you're sharing it to say, fuck that, I'm down for whatever and supporting the cause, what he's going through for the uprising, the justice for whatever there was, obviously promoted.
And then man don't even know.
Man don't support it.
And then you don't even know what the fuck the feds are fucking harassing man about. You could be jumping up yourself in a man's thing, and then when you find out what the fuck you trying to say to him, you're like,
It's crazy. That's just crazy. That's just crazy. Some fucking ass niggas and we calling them stars. Fucking Freemasons and we follow them all. They hung themselves and trying to hang us with the same rope. It's cause a man like that we ended on that slave boat. Let's save jokes for later, much later on. Let's cater for the man them that's got more than 2 brain cells, balls, and no time for fakers. I ain't got no time for the haters or colours in the gang. When the Masons are murdering my fam. Damn, you're fucking with my nature, trying to pass stress on my mum's head greater. I ain't got time, we ain't got time. Blood, the time is now, fuck later. Martin, Marcus, Malcolm, how many examples you need? Look, they all set pace, bro. Yo, you done talking your face up. I'm saying it's simply just a case of, now that you're here, you just chat here, wasting the ears on the side of my face, cause I ain't trying to hear ya, trying to be near ya or trying to scare ya. When I tell you about do something there ya, tell you again though, do something there ya. Side with the other side, I won't fear ya. It's a big picture, I'm seeing it clearer. Ain't making sense, but you're making an error. Talking your shit about war on terror.
Oh yeah, they had a big part, they still got a big part.
From the past and today, how do you think they've influenced it?
Bro, from the systematic targeting of the black man from when man was landing, now you're taking away so many man's fathers. You know what I mean? On these all these kind of mad charges. So they'll come in and rough up, man, and then talk about blood clot police assault. So a man looks like some mad violent man.
Let's give you a criminal record and mash you up.
And this time it's not
even said
that.
certain man was mad and that he made man get sectioned and stuff. Up back in the day.
So then I don't blame how the black man then was going off back a day, car like. If they wasn't so active them times there, we wouldn't have so many of us now. You know what I mean? Like, we got families all over the shop now, and that's because man had to do his thing. It's kind of a natural thing that must kick in or whatever. I don't know, but they was getting down and they was doing their thing. I think that's like from them times till now, it kind of shows in our community as far as in. We haven't had as many full families. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not.
And would elaborate on that. What you mean full family?
It ain't nothing for your brethren or for you not to have your mum or your dad live in the house. Do you know what I mean? Like someone might have their mum that lives in they live with their mum. Someone might live with their dad. Someone might live with their grandparents. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's nothing. It's not. If you said that any one of those combinations, I wouldn't think anything abnormal of it. That's what I mean by that. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not a standard thing. Like,
but even though you're right, it's like abnormal of it because that's how we look at it as ghetto use then, yeah. But then, even though we look at that as ghetto as normal, was it normal? Was it right? Do you think that was is that the right way, or was that the right way for us, or did you think that made an impact the way why we are the way we are as well?
Like as far as normal, like I can't really like dictate to. I don't want to dictate to anybody what's normal or what. It is what it is and it was what it was. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think
what should it be?
But yeah, I do think it has an effect because if you're talking about ideals as far as what should it be, I do think youths or children or whatever, they prosper, they grow best in a scenario where they're in a proper full family, where they've got a working relationship, a mum and a dad working together as a team in that thing there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, so because we've had so many, like, and let's not like try, do you know what I mean? Like we've had to do what we've had to do. Like life goes on. Let's not get it twisted. Like we're resilient people. Life goes on. You know what I mean? But this is what we're about to do. You know what I mean? This is what we're about to do. Some are about to go. Some mums are about to struggle on their own. And as much as they've done a great job, I'm sure they would have found it easier.
All the mums, all the single mums, get me all the single.
Yeah, two salutes.
I
don't know how you do it, man. Trust me.
Yeah, we have to salute them. You know what I mean? Salute the mums first and foremost, though. You get me?
Trust me, man. Trust me. You get me? But like I'm sure, like most people will say, if I had the opportunity to do it in an ideal situation, I'd bring my child up with their parents. Yeah. Sometimes it's the parent themselves that's the actual problem. Like you're like, out in the ideal situation, I'd love to, but my mother waste man, or she's ill, or do you know what I mean? So like sometimes it's whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? So and we've got to make do what we have to make do. They just move our communities and start moving people out of the area. So when at one time it was all the inner city areas that was deemed the poor areas, and so they just pushed all the black people into the inner city areas. And now, because the inner city areas the value's going up, they're trying to push everybody out so that they can claim back that land and I would make like student flats and them kind of things. Do you know what I mean? So like because they just play with our community like that, they just move us about like we're cattle, and because we've had on top of that the systematic attacks, like, as far as trying to remove the male from the situation or from the families. I feel that's obviously had an effect. Do you know what I mean? Because as a young man, you try and find yourself.
Young black man.
You get what I mean? You try and find yourself, and if you have less ideas or startups to see what could be an idea of yourself, I know about black man living and doing successfully, then it kind of puts you at a bit of You know what I mean? Well, like I've had less inspiration or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? Because it's all energy, innit? Do you know what I mean? So like you see something and it can start an idea. Cause everything comes from an idea. So it's about getting the ideas firing off in these young minds. Like, yo, I can do this, I can be that, I can be that, I can be an astronaut, I can be a bit of it. But sometimes they don't have, like I said, everyone learns a lesson when everyone's ready to learn the lesson, the teacher appears. So it could be sitting down in school talking to someone, or it could be watching something on TV and they see that a black astronaut. Think, yo, I can be an astronaut. You know what I mean? But people learn their lesson when they're ready to learn it, and people get that inspiration from wherever it is. And I think without a deficiency, do you know what I mean? Like, cause bearing in mind that we've had a fair attacks into our community, so I think we're doing amazingly well. You know what I mean? Keep your heads up. Let's keep going. You know what I mean? Let's keep doing what we're doing. Don't stop yet. Don't get tired.
Yeah, man. Rise up, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
But
so, saying all that now, yeah, growing up in Nottingham now, you must have seen like a lot of changes there. You with me? How do you say that the changes of, like, obviously the levels of change and the levels of the communication between the community and less caring and togetherness, yeah, has become?
It's a bit of a mad one, cause like I feel sorry for the youth and for the young ones at their age, cause the kind of things that we had, like we were still a bit more freer than the youths are now. The youths are a lot more restricted. Certain times I'll talk to certain youths and they talk about they can't go here and they can't go there. And they've never had a beef with anybody from that actual side. It's just they've just got it in their head that we can't go over there, car man from that side don't go over there, man. And you think like, what is this? Where did you get that from? And then the certain man that are doing shit, certain man that are doing shit, you're like, what the fuck, fam? Like, have you gone wappy? What are you actually like trying to achieve?
Hey yo, what's wrong with everyone? How comes you're busters, hustlers, gangsters and killers? And when a man backs out the thing and backs you up, you backstep like Mike Jackson in Thriller. Got a bunch of talk about you go iller. You a silverback, you a gorilla. A man box you in your face, you do nothing, blood. Fuck going hard, you should just go realer. You got finance, you go dealers. Now you move a little food tree, you know dealers. A man's pushed food on you like go peelers. If you dare, you try to keep your nose cleaner. So you're here with every drop of the money. You need your little share, so you like master. Oh, feed us. Your food's credit, your car's credit, your gangster's credit, your pathetic blood, forget it.
Do you know what I mean? Like, is this thing about trying to be the biggest killer, the biggest drug dealer? What are you trying to achieve? Do you know what I mean? And again, I think if without giving the youth them enough options or inspiration or something to spark their idea of what else they can be, they're gonna replicate what they can see as looks as a successful life, innit?
So then, do you think that the elders? Because obviously some elders may give the youngsters opportunities, because we know how it is, you get me, you got the elders what may give them opportunities, but maybe don't you think sometimes it's the wrong opportunities? Don't you think they should give them more opportunities and say, well, if there's any young gun out there, what say, you know what, your family or big man or cousin or uncle or relative, you have a little business idea, what if you fund me or help me set up or whatever, maybe you got the idea of the business sense, or you may be able to financially help me or whatever. If you can help me and support me some way, it would make some of the youths them not take the roads of the street roads.
How about on a real basic like rule, law, level, whatever you want to call it. Now, yeah, you just take on board that if you can help somebody, help them. How about that?
Definitely.
Like man, woman, child. You know what I mean? Like if you can help them, help them. Like there's a difference between helping someone and letting someone take the piss. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference between letting someone take the piss. So you letting someone take the piss, then you're a dickhead. You know what I mean? But sometimes people need help, and if you can help them, help them. Do you know what I mean?
Because if they're real people, then they wouldn't mind helping you, because each one should help one. That's what it is. Again, help each other raise up. You with me?
It's funny, cause like more time you can have a set of brethrens now, yeah, and a man will have money, and whatever he's doing to get his money, he don't even want to tell his brethren, cause he'll feel like now they're gonna start eating his money. When really, the way man should really think about it is the more money you've got, the more money I've got. The more, if I'm riding with a car full of man with money, the more money's in the car. It's just simple maths. Do you know what I mean? Like, so now when I'm going food shop, I'm not asking you, yo, fam, do you want some food? It's not more money I'm spending on. You got your own money, and he's got his own money. So alright, today it might be on me just because we can. Do you know what I mean? Like, but there's more money around now. We can circulate money backwards and forwards. I can buy something of yours. You can spend something. Do you know what I mean? And man don't seem to realize it. Man seem to think like, oh well.
So you say that's because man are hating on each other. Man ain't supporting each other. Man don't want to see a next brother rise or shine or before them. Where obviously, like you said, if I'm shining, you're shining, or whoever's shining. Each one, get me? Everyone shines if one man shines, because it's your brother.
It's residuals of this Willie Lynch syndrome, bro, and this capitalism thing. You get me? Mix them two together to the stage that we're at now, yeah. And this is what you get. Yeah. This is what you get. Do you know what I mean? But what I mean by that is because there's such high value placed on things. Do you know what I mean? Like what someone has or has amassed. The kind of things that they've got, the amount of stuff that they've got, rather than their character. Do you know what I mean? Like people are judged on the things that they've got rather than their character. Do you know what I mean?
So I'm really your friend because you got a big car, or you got a chain, or you're rolling with a Rolex.
Yeah, he's successful. He's successful because he's got a big house, big car, and we're
You're a rapper, you're this, you're
like,
that. Yeah.
Is he a piece of shit? Cause if he's a successful paedophile, like. Do you know what I mean? Like,
fight for them.
You know what I mean? You understand? So like I think like, cause such importance is placed on things, and then because back in the day we was played off against each other, that you've got that natural competition. So people are just like competing for bullshit. Just competing for bullshit. It's just competition for competition. And you notice. You black brother now, yeah, will find out you got a business shop, whatever now, yeah, and straight away wants to ask you for a discount, yeah? Cause you selling health foods now, you got moringa seeds going on, yeah man, let me get a discount, black. But before you had them popping, I was buying full price off the brother that I don't know. I don't even know who I was paying. It could have been a Chinese man, it could have been some
the Chinese herbal
Jewish brother, I don't know who I was paying. I was just paying somebody to get my blood clot seeds, but now I know you've got a shop now. I want this kind. You know what I mean? We have to bun all them kind of things. You have to start making a mental decision like, yo, my black brother, what's that? Take a tip, fam. Yeah, because we're trying to keep the money in our community first. Do you know what I mean? Like you're trying to keep the money around you. So anyone around you where you have to spend money, spend that. Don't even feel away. Don't even feel. I'm not saying man's to go on like say man's rich or nothing like that, but understand where you're spending your money because that makes a decision. That is women spend millions of dollars. I'm saying dollars. God, that was the last time I was researching it. It gave me the figures in dollars. But girls spend millions of dollars on blood clot, makeup and shit like that now, yeah. Fucking, do you know the kind of voice that they or the power that their money that they're spending?
Generate.
Yeah, that spending power has. Because they all do it. Now, if women as a general said, yo, we're not wearing that lipstick or wearing it because of this or because of that, that would make a big change for that makeup industry. Do you know what I mean? But it wouldn't take everybody saying, oh, we're going to do this. It takes someone to fucking see what someone's talking about and say, you know what? I'm with that. I'm going to stop buying that lipstick or where, and then they listen. And it's the same thing for us. We have to make that individual decision. So, all right, when we're going to shops, and yeah, I will spend with my black brother. I'm not gonna look at him sideways or talk to him sideways or want a discount just because he's my brother. I want to pay him full price. Because friggin' I would go and give it to him. I'd go and give it to him and I don't know him, and I probably wouldn't like him or want to sit down at all the meds or like that with him. So I want you to have that money. And man need to start.
And to add to that, I mean, you notice even when we as black people, yeah, and everybody out there think about it, yeah, because when you hear what I'm gonna say, you're gonna think, no, it's true. Because even the elders told you when the youngsters back in the day, but you probably don't pre that when you spend your money with a different culture, i.e. Asian man and white man, but particular Asian man, he never puts that money back in your hand, the change, or directly in your hand. He always chucks it to you.
Yeah, or puts it on the side.
Or puts it on the side. You with me? Because obviously he didn't want remember, it's like a ritual what's taking place. You with me? That money generating flow. You with me? So he's cutting off that transaction by putting it back into your hands. You with me? What keeps that flowing, keeps that love of money like you get me, transgression and progressing. You with me? But because obviously he's thinking, no, he's not my people, he's not my brother, he's not my sister. He's just dashing it down to cut off the energy source. You with me? Violating you. You with me?
What, is he wrong for that? Or is he smart?
Bro, he's smart then.
Is he wrong for that or is he smart?
So then that means we're dumb because we continue going to the shops and
we continue, it's a subliminal thing, innit? If you keep doing, right, they say pointing's a negative energy. Like, no one don't really like when someone points at them for too long, like it just don't feel right. Do you know what I mean? You keep doing something, like he says, it's like a ritual. You keep doing it, like people get addicted to the love of spending money. It feels good. Passing off of money and paying for something, it feels good. It has a whole feeling to it. How can it feel so? Because it's energy in it. Everything's energy. So like you're saying, if you keep doing that, then you're spreading that energy out. You're giving that good energy out. You know what I mean? You're enjoying this procreate. You know what I mean? Them man, no, cool. Let me cut that. That's what I'm man's dealing with. Cool. I can overs that car. Freaking maybe when you get into it, I should just slide it across the table to you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's not a love thing. Let's not get all loved up in this thing and start hand change and exchange thing and hand rub and weird and germs exchange germs and them things. Because you know when you pass someone something, you exchange germs and them things there. If I got a dirty hand and I pass you a glass, it's gonna show that the glass is dirty. You know what I mean? So like fucking when you so maybe that's what I was dealing with. I don't.
Don't take it personal. It's only human nature I trust. I trust survival of the fittest means you do whatever you need to for you to stay above. You ain't trying to tread water or just survive. Everybody's out here trying to live life. So the same brother that wants you to live on the next year might want you to die. Look, I ain't got time, so I'm trying to stick to my grind. I'm trying to stick to my plan. I'm trying to kidnap a nigga, then fling him in the whip. Or the feds try and fling him in the van. Nigga, goddamn, bitches getting all up in your shit. Niggas trying to fuck with your fam. Let me talk to him now. I ain't got time, call with my head gone. Somebody's head gone with a bang, head gone like gone.
This is what I'm trying to say. That remember that divide I was talking about. That's something that we need to start bidding back. Do you know what I mean? Like the youngers them need to start mingling with the elders. The elders need to start mingling with the youngers. But it's all for me.
There's a culture break.
There's a culture break, and I think there's an approach difference. Because obviously, like you're saying, there's a culture break as far as in like the youths them grow up in a westernized civilization, but then a lot of our parents have that deep like West Indian stance on discipline and them kind of things there. Do you know what I mean? So like there's a bit of a gap there, and then when you're trying to tell a youth something, a lot of the time the approach is, you listen to me. Let me tell you this.
You have to give them a different approach.
Yeah, you have to give them a different approach because one,
make them interested about it.
Yeah, because they grew up in this Western thing. Do you know them like they grew up in this Western thing like beating you or call the police events and all them kind of things there. So like that was never something that you could even think of back in the day. Do you know what I mean? But like, yeah, it's a whole different thing now. Do you know what I mean? So, and then for our parents before us, it was a different thing before that. You know what I mean? So like, it's a whole different mindset and a whole different approach to them. You can't just keep going to them and trying to, or we can't be looking to as elders trying to build a bond with them and think that we can just keep dictating to them. Cause you know what? You know why? Yeah, because none of you elders that are watching this right now are out here with the youths and can tell these youths anything about what they're dealing with.
Get out there.
Do you know what I mean? As far as so a youth's going through some dramas with I don't know, a man's put food on him and he didn't really want the food. What are you gonna tell him? You can tell him about go police and this, that, and the other. Like, no way to like sort the situation.
Making it worse.
I'm just gonna tell you about this and that man wants to kill me. No police. Or whatever you're gonna tell them. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you're not in that situation or you're not experienced or
you're not community active.
Yeah, so like, and you might have been 10, 15 years ago, so you might have some experience to shed on it, or you might know nothing about it. But because you're not in that now, you don't know nothing about that. So, for instance, any of these things that's going off, just like how the phones, if you want to know certain things about phones and technology and certain lingo and certain clothes and them things, the youths them have got the pulse, innit? The youths them are on it like that. The youths them are, you think you know everything that's going on, and then you will come to you with something fresh that happened a minute ago. You're like, what? What's this, a new thing?
Fresh thing.
New, I don't know about this. Like, let me find out what you understand? Like the youths them know their life, what they're dealing with. Like, so you can't go to them and dictate to them about their world, because you know nothing of their world. Of course. The films ain't no joke. I mean, for me personally, I can see on TV and film that there's been an active attack on the black alpha male, as far as in that kind of character. Do you know what I mean? Or just the alpha male full stop, but particularly the black alpha male. Do you know what I mean? Because like they try and make sure all the Hollywood stars, black males, and put on a dress and do all these kind of feminine looking things just to break that thing. Just like when you see Usain Bolt on the Virgin advert and
they violated Usain Bolt, you know. I couldn't believe that he did that, you know, fam.
He didn't do that. He's obviously agreed to it.
Because he's doing more with them afterwards.
He didn't actually put on a dress. They took his head off with the computer.
But he allowed the thing. He allowed the thing.
You understand? He allowed the thing. He took a check and said, yeah, cool. You understand? And it's them kind of thing. What he said, I seen a 90-year-old on the news yesterday talking about, it's changed to be a woman. Yeah. For me, that just shows me that it's a decision that man's making. Then, if you're saying that you've lived your whole life, yeah, and you managed to get to 90, and now you said you made it. What happened to you? You know what I mean? It's a decision that a man's made. So like, I definitely feel that with all this programming that they're doing in the TV, it's helping affect people's decision. Card, like this brother would have never done that, if he didn't feel like, okay, it's accepted now. Do you know what I mean? Like, regardless of which way you want to look at it, it's like, oh well, he was living a lie before. Cool. We should have kept it like that. Do you understand? Because it'd have stayed like that. It'd have made it until the last five more years and died.
Females will watch them things even like on like you said, documentaries, and even have them things on their soaps. Hollyoaks, Emmerdale, EastEnders, and they'll be watching these things with their children, those boys turning into girls, girls kissing girls, men kissing men, and it's all on the TV while their children are watching, or while our children may be watching it too. So then, what do you do then? Because the women, play a major role. The women play a major and a key role. Do
you know what I like now? Yeah, I like the internet. Yeah, the internet is giving us a whole different voice. I love the fact that our artists don't need record labels now to get themselves popping. and we don't need to watch their channels no more.
Yeah, we don't.
Bro, I don't have a TV license.
Yeah, what he said, we don't need to watch their television no more. That's
I
real
don't
talk.
have a TV license, and I'm not ducking anybody. So we can put this out there because I've already talked with the TV license.
Put out their pagan channels, man.
I don't have no business with them.
Educate your mind.
None of them. And if any you want advice on that, holler. None of them. They have
Put something constructive on for your youths, then innit? Basically, you get me?
But,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I don't watch TV. I control what I watch. Go to my brother's yard. Fucking go J Go's yard. My man's got his TV and his computer. You know them like he ain't got no TV strung up with no normal TV channels and them things there. He's got his computer and his big screen TV. So obviously like man watches shit. It's not like he don't watch anything. Like he's just got a computer and he doesn't watch. No. Man don't watch your TV. You know what I mean? Like control. So this is what we're gonna have to start doing, innit? Like so. Alright, then is that what you're gonna keep putting on your TV stations for my youth to watch? You know what?
Or control our own media, or have our own media stations, like what we're doing now, and or have our own cartoons, or have our own whatever. Just have our own thing. Like you talk about Nollywood, you get me? In Nigeria, in UK, or even how they got the Notch channel. We need a black Notch channel, then where we can have black education for the youths, them cartoons, etc., depending for the different age levels. And even things for us, you with me? Black music channels, promoting black music or promoting black businesses, our thing. So you don't have to see no negativity or whatever they want to engineer or pump in to pollute us.
Yeah, I hear that.
You with me? Create our own thing then, innit? You with me? So even what do you think about you said about the film industry or the programs or the soaps? What do you think about the music? Because the music plays a key impact in our life. We live music. If it's not reggae, if it's not hip hop, we love or live for music. So how do you think that plays an impact on the community?
Listen, music plays a very big part. It plays a very big part in my mood anyway. I can only speak for myself.
Especially as an artist, for those who don't know, obviously you're an artist, so you on your music thing for many years, so
Don't try it, what you sell we don't buy it. More brain food please, no diet. We make sense, we apply it. Now why should we stay quiet? Feeling to start a riot. Don't piss me off, I'm feeling to grab that thing and fly it. Stop trying it, the bullshit that you sell I ain't buying it. I ain't believe a word from your lying lips, like I'm ever gonna believe in flying pigs. What's wrong with this you? What's wrong with the truth? Why you always gotta lie and shit? Like anybody cares about the price of it. That's never gonna help when the iron splits. Say something with substance, no full thing in my circumference. Yo, there's a lot of P-things going off right now, but I don't wanna hear no nonsense, car. Most man that's talking really ain't done shit. They just wanna take them out and run lips like they done this. Blood, just done with the dumb shit, car. I ain't got no time for this. Tryna tell a young gun blood time I tick. Why waste words? That's kinda thick. When man say something, you just kinda spit. See what happened? Too much dogging. The feds them got man kinda pissed. They can't be peace until we get peace. Some two-part or them kinda tips.
impacts the people.
Like I said, if I start with myself, my music has a big effect on my mood. And I know, like through the sciences of music, that it just has an effect. Full stop. I mean, if you want to go into like the simple basic sides of it, like you've got a thing called somatics, where if you play certain frequencies, it makes different shapes. So if you put like sand on a
you see the knowledge,
piece of paper,
the knowledge.
So yeah, you put like a sand on a piece of paper, and then you change the frequency. The different frequencies that are coming out of the speaker
Make
make
different
patterns in the sand on the tip.
Try it.
That just shows you that everything's energy, yeah, and that sound has a shape. Yeah, so sound has a shape, and a lot of things, because everything's formed through frequencies and how fast things are moving and all them bollocks there. You know what I mean? So like, when it comes to music, it definitely has a big effect, because everyone has a favourite tune. Do you know what I mean? Everyone has at least one favourite tune. It doesn't mean that it's all the same favourite tune, you know what I mean? But like,
some like love music, some like hype music,
you know what I mean? Everyone has, so, you know what I mean? So there's something that you like about music, so there's obviously something that you feel about music for you to like. Do you know what I mean? For you to have a favourite tune. Furthermore, songs can make you vex, they can make you happy and want to dance. Do you know what I mean? They can even bore you. You can hear like some elevator music and it's just like some proper background music. In fact, that's what they call it, that elevator music. They made it to be some proper background shit. They just be there like it's boring, but it's not supposed to be exciting. And do you know what I mean? It's some elevator shit. Do you know what I mean? Like music has feeling, it has
emotion.
Yeah, it has emotion, and it calls.
Yeah. So yeah. Yes, my family. So yeah, as we were saying that, music as energy, music can obviously play with, especially us as black people, because obviously we deal with vibrations. Positive vibrations or negative vibrations. So depending on a music frequency or what's being delivered on a particular track, it plays a major part, like he says, on the community or on the people what's listening to the music. So what do you think about people who are pushing the music today and they're only talking about one kind of topic then, which is obviously more than likely negativity, what's bringing us down in the community, influencing the youth?
Right, so the music thing, I think, again, it's a symptom of its previous state, as in prior to the internet, it was run by industry corporations, and that's basically whatever they force fed us. They were stars and they were hits, because that's all that we hear.
It was orchestrated.
Yeah, it was orchestrated, definitely orchestrated. And since the internet, like, that's all flipped on its head. We listen to whatever the fuck we want to listen to, whether they like it or not, whether they try and force feed us or not. And I think that's got a lot to do with the type of artists that are successful at the moment. Meaning that people that, like myself, if I take myself, when I'm talking about things, I generally start with myself
Look at yourself first before you start pointing and looking at other people.
If I talk about myself, I love hip hop. I'm a music artist. I don't spend shit on music. Like, I don't really buy music. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to. I get it free, and I can. Like, obviously, there's the odd few artists where I feel like, no,
you should support your brothers and
you need
support.
You need this money. Let me give you this. You understand? But like generally, like that's only out of choice. I don't have to. I can still listen to more time. I actually heard their thing first and thought, no, let me actually give you the thing. You know what I mean? But like, you don't actually have to spend money to get music. So like, people that love the music, I think we have to look at ourselves as guilty for how the state of the music is now. Cause the people that support the pop thing, like they spend their money and they get in with their thing, where we don't. So their buying power has a lot more say. Do you know what I mean? So an artist don't really care what Mr. Roots and Culture's got to say about my ad-lib song, my song that's just full of ad-libs, no verses. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't care because I'm getting paid. Do you know what I mean?
But shouldn't you care about what he's giving his fans and his people?
See, this is what I'm trying to say. It's a symptom of the state of the music because of what it previously was. Do you know what I mean? Because what it previously was it was like house niggas, like well, in fact, before that it was real artists. Yeah, people that took their thing serious. Yeah, they took time to craft an actual concept to their album covers, and it was all a thing.
It was art and craft.
Yeah, there was a craft to the thing. You know what I mean? But now, because music's so easily and readily available, like, music artists haven't got time for all that. So if you're on that artist thing, calm, but you're not gonna be as successful as someone that's just banging out things and his Instagram's popping and his
fan base.
Yeah, his fan base, his social media is popping because he's just doing bare foolery on his social media, and he's got a 1-2-2 song out on the radio.
But then that effect of when man are following these fools. That's why empowering their social medias You with me?
My point, yes. And my point is yes. That you have to look at yourself. If you're following someone's music that you don't really rate like that, or you'd rather someone else be on, stop following them. Because
but sometimes man are rating them though. Sometimes man are rating these full hype man, idiot man, gas man, etc. Showboaters, these man who got no sense, these man are talking foolishness, etc.
Yo, there's two words that are strong words: tolerance and acceptance, bro. Like I have to accept that not everyone in the world is like me. In fact, I already know that everyone in the world is me. I'll start with the default setting, like, you ain't like me. You know what I mean? Like, so
none of them are like we.
So, you know what I mean? And the same for each individual. You know what I mean? So, like I accept that everyone ain't like me, and I tolerate the fact that some people have bad taste. You know what I mean? Or what I consider to be bad taste. You know them like.
But by tolerating it, aren't we allowing them to poison our people and our culture and even our youth? Because they influence, they're role models.
My point is your strength is you can speak with your money or your ears, like, so you don't, like you said, following a fool or someone you consider to be a fool. That's a no. Why follow him? No, I don't follow that. You know what I mean? You see something too funky, like, wait man, like this brother, you don't like the way they make music, like, wait man, I don't care like what the talk is about. And if you don't rate them, don't follow them, car. Followers is something that we know is helps man get popping. Don't download them, don't give them no energy. Right, alright, so boom. Stick with me, cause I'm going off for a second, but the point is about the energy you give something. Yeah? Now, there was a little experiment, again, this really relates back to the sound and the strength in the words and the power that you say now, yeah? But let's just stick with it on as far as in the energy that you give something. So the experiment had 3 tubs of rice, yeah? And
I knew what you're gonna
it was 3 tubs of rice, and the rice was in like water. Water holds memory and them things there, so this was the reason why it was in water.
For those who don't know, check this and do this experiment what you say, because I know what you're talking about, my brother.
Nah, the doctor, he took the 3 tubs and he labelled them different. So he labelled one like love, one hate, and one ignore. Do you know them? And then he did that with each of them. For I think it was
showed one love,
yeah,
showed one hate, and totally ignored one.
For like 100 and something days. I think it was 130 something days or something like that. So every day you go to them and they say different things to them. It's like, I love you. Yeah, I love you. You know, like, yo, I love you, bro. You get me? Then pick on the other one, like, fucking hate you. And it really like expressed each energy with each one. And then the last one, he wouldn't do shit with. Right, so get fast forward all these days, we're doing all that, you get to the end of it. You see the one that he was saying, I love you to, now, yeah? That was mouldy, because bear in mind, it's rice in water, and it's after 100 and something days, you know what I'm saying? It was mouldy, but it was like white mouldy.
Still kind of pretty, still kind of natural.
It's still kind of clean looking. You could tell it was off and you wouldn't eat it, but it didn't look like...
It didn't spoil.
Yeah, it didn't look too fuckery. The one that he was saying, I hate you, like, that was definitely mouldy. That didn't look good at all. That was dead. It had some funny different colours going up. You see the one that he ignored? That looked the worst out of all of them. That looked the worst out of all of them.
Gone.
Cause he didn't give it no energy, didn't have nothing to feed up. Cause even when something decays, now it takes energy. Do you know what I mean? So like something dying is something life for another, cause life's a cycle, innit? Do you know what I mean? That duality and them things there. So like freaking, like even though he's telling one some fuckery, he was still giving it energy. Yeah? Don't give these motherfuckers energy. If you're not feeling something, or you can't support like what a man's dealing with, then just don't give it the energy. You know what I mean? Like, don't follow the brother, don't watch them online, don't watch none of their bullshit. Don't give it the energy. I do this with normal day-to-day TV and shit like that. Like I said, I don't watch normal TV. I don't watch the news. I don't watch the news. I don't give their news their energy card. It's not news. It's not news. It's like some kind of scaremongering thing. You know what I mean? So I don't know why they call it news. That's a misleading label.
Technology thing.
You know what I mean? So because they were trying to like, be on some scaremongering thing, I don't watch that. You know what I mean? When my day goes great because of that. You know what I mean? So sometimes people will be like, oh, did you hear it? Nope. I really don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that I don't care, but certain things, like, you have to swerve the energy. when black males go into school, when they're like 5 or something like that, the schooling thing, like they like the head of the head of the group, you know, the different races and that and all that and cool. And I know this ain't just about race or nothing like that now, yeah. I'm just trying to give you an example of how it's a systematic attack on us. Cause then by the end of the schooling thing, we're the lowest. So you go from starting at the top and ending at the end. Like,
one minute you're bright and next minute you're dumb, because that's what they do. They dumb you down. The school system dumbs you down. But yeah, continue.
Right.
You're right.
So then now it would be that they dumb you down if the school system was trying to teach you. Yeah. But the school system isn't trying to teach you. Yeah. The school system tries to train our kids. Hence why the kids' time doesn't go in tune with 9 to 5 workers. Do you know what I mean? Like they don't make it so that you can drop off your kids and then go to work and then finish work and pick up your kids' car. They're trying to train your kid to be a worker. So they're trying to make their use time as close to the same times that you go to work and all them kind of things there. All right, cool. So you got a system that tries to train kids into being employees. The school system isn't trying to train you to be a boss. Yeah, and the traits that general bosses have are traits that might not make you the best pupil, because you don't want to listen. You want to do your own thing. You got your own ideas. You want to question things a lot, and you know what I mean. You want to try your own stuff and do your own thing, and you know what I mean. You don't always want to follow the rules. If people that
follow creative people, basically, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So when it comes to academically well, like even man like Richard Branson didn't do that academically well, like especially had dyslexia and all them type of thing there, you know what I mean?
So Dr. Sebi has never went to school or nothing like that, and obviously he has cured many diseases, you get me? And obviously he's a master teacher and a master doctor, where we as black people need to start embracing our people, because some of them learn different, basically what you're saying. So when you was obviously the people who was at school, the way the system teaches you, it's not for us, because we, like you said, the teacher telling you one way, it's not that you was rebelling, but you could see it in a different way, or you could get the puzzle in a different way, where everybody learns different.
This is the thing that this is why I say it's not by accident when it comes to the education system, because like you said, it's an obvious thing. Everyone learns different. Not everyone learns the same. Some people like learn through actually putting the thing in action, like show you like do this, do that,
visual,
do that. No, kinetic. By doing it.
By doing it.
Some people are visual, like you have to show them. Some people are auditory, like you have to tell them. Do you know what I mean? Like, but people have different ways of learning.
Different types.
Cool, but they don't seem to want to work with the traits of
the individual.
Yeah, like so. As far as if you're academic, then you'll get through, and then do you know like why I know that it's not by accident now, yeah, and that it's a systematic thing, because they're trying to teach you kids to be yes men, yeah. So much so that now, if they tell you to do a sum, yeah, and the youth gets the right answer, if the youth didn't use the theory, the formula that they told the youth to use, wrong.
Yeah, so the youth then could have got taught by mummy or daddy one way, but if it wasn't the way what the teacher says, it's wrong.
It's wrong.
Which is not correct.
It's wrong. Don't be freestyling. Don't be thinking for yourself. Yeah, just do what I told you. Did I tell you to do that? No. So it's wrong. That's what it's teaching them. That's what it's teaching them. It's teaching
they're not
you,
wrong. So,
but it's not wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like my youths come with homework certain times, show me things, and then I've looked and I thought, hey, but the youth was right. But just because he's worked it out a different way than the way you've told him to work it out, he's wrong. Am I going crazy here? Did you understand the question till like he understood exactly what you meant and translated it in a way he understood it and put it back down for you and showed you? Did you not understand the question? Was that not what you asked him to do? Or no, you asked him to follow orders? Do you know what I mean? So that's why, and little things like that, telltale signs.
So then what do one do about the school system then? Because it's basically saying that the school system is not designed for us then, isn't it?
It's not designed for us.
So then the Asian people have got their schools, so what would you recommend that we do as a black people or as a people or as parents to do with our children in their schools then?
You see with the schooling thing, obviously, as a black person, you owe it to yourself to do as much knowledge as what you can do on yourself. Because if you notice that you can go to school, and although they've got foolishness for you, just like when I was going to school and they'd tell me some foolishness, I had some, because my parents had told me certain things. And this is why you need to find yourself. You need to, that's why I said you owe it to yourself. So not everyone does know themselves, but there's things you can do. You can research yourself, do you know what I mean? Like, you can find out who you are and find out. Because not everyone's grew up in the same kind of families we've all grew up, and not everyone does know their full history. But you can do research on who you are, where you're from, what sort of ancestry you got, and all these kind of things here. You know what I mean? Furthermore, as a community, we need to be a little bit more proactive in what they're actually teaching in these schools. Because I hear what you're saying about setting up our own schools and all that. But on this sort of thing here, so many of our youths go to normal mainstream schools that I think it's actually an issue. Because I mean, even when it comes to history, the things that they teach in history, they stop after white man. Do you know them? Like so. But bearing in mind, they tell you that black man have been around from time. Yeah, and but their history starts from when white man came. Like, so any history pre-white man, it's
a mystery.
Yeah, you're not really getting into it. But bearing in mind, although it was black history, it's also, because there was no other colours pre-white man, it's also human history. So it's still the world's history. Everybody, do you know what I mean? Like, even though there was only black man then, because there was only black man then, it then makes it the world's history, because there was no other colours. So it's not just black history, it's human history. But because it's black history, they don't want to mention it, they don't want to talk about this, they don't want to mention that. You know what I mean? It's a mad thing. So like on that sort of side there's a few issues that need to be addressed. Even if we're not dealing, even if we're not talking just on the strength of
about like black bros and things like that, what they're not
using, and know that it's not really that. That's why so many people are laughing at us. Cause they culturally they've got us spending all our money on things that we have to buy again. Think about it. Alright then, so like if you think about the money that you made over your lifetime now, yeah, and then think about what you spent it on, or break it down to in a year what you spend your money on, or even break it down smaller into a month what you spend your money on. Most of your money goes on things that you're gonna have to buy again the next month. Do you know what I mean? Like food, clothes, friggin' rent, electric bills, do you know what I mean? All things that you have to buy again and again and again. Fuel or transport, whatever the fuck it is, it's all things that you have to buy again and again and again. Like, and it's kind of like on purpose thing, so that you can't ever have enough money to.
So you say that happens from, like you're saying, from school, all these programmings plays a part of your life then. So what would you say was like, give us a knowledge of better understanding, better education system, what would be needed to be implemented to obviously help the change of that, what you're talking about?
So what I'm talking about is a few issues that need to be added into the curriculum, but it's not gonna. Those kind of things wouldn't get added unless parents, as a whole, say, you know what, this needs to be added. This needs to be added. These things something needs to get done about this.
So your parents need to do more and fight for our cultural rights.
And individually, like as far as in, so if there's someone that was to start that campaign, you know what I mean, calm, and you want to, so she can show you support on it, then that's one way to do it. But then individually, learn as much as you can learn yourself.
And teach children that.
At the end of the day, your children learn the most from their parents anyway. So if you
don't even rely on them, the schools to teach children.
Like, it would be nice, like, in the long run, if we could get
Even
kind
at
of
own
things.
schools,
But
yeah, but start from
immediately, yeah,
start from the
there's things you can find right now.
Start from the parents,
especially with the internet now as well. You know what I mean? Like there's so much information that you can find out, and one thing I always do is question.
So would you think cultural teaching is very important to obviously give us something, a backbone to lean on to make us know our foundation, our fundamentals of who we are as a people?
What would they say? You can't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been.
Naturally.
Yeah. Otherwise you're just going to be in a desert or a forest walking around in circles. You don't know, did I come from that way? Yeah, no. You know what I mean? You can know back where you came from. You know what I mean? Like if you know where you've been, that's why like, when they get lost, they like leave trails so they know where they've come from, so they don't end up going back there. You know what I mean? It's the same as like being a busy idiot or fucking, you know what I mean? Like working hard and going in the wrong direction. You know what I mean?
So you say that's why enough of the youths them don't know who they are because they don't know this, or they've got the teaching from i.e. schools or from their parents or just in general or researching it for themselves. So everybody needs to get to know themselves. Everybody needs to each one teach one, and then by self-knowledge and self-belief and self-appreciation, then obviously that's when we can move forward with one another.
Yeah, like it's about people being a bit more strict with themselves. I mean, for instance, youths see what kind of things dominate the world by the environment that they're in. If mum and dad are just listening to bare fuckery when they get mum and dad time, when they get adult time, that's all they're listening to, then the youth's gonna be interested in that. I think, okay, cool, that's what big people do. You know what I mean? And when they get their time,
more to life.
Do you know what I mean? So like the little things about the environment that you bringing your child up in, or the way you're living, furthermore. Do you know what I mean? Like if you start with yourself, then it can only emanate from there. You can't be responsible for anybody else's actions, but as far as yourself, if you can say, all right, then well, I'm not gonna listen to this, or I'm not gonna support that. I'm not gonna give it the energy. Like the right, steady off, and all of them. Like I'm not gonna give it the energy like that. Just boogie and fade off into eternity on some fucking, and it's calm. You know what I mean? Like, and then try and put the energy into the things that you need to do, like supporting your fellow brothers and sisters' businesses, learning what you can learn from however you can learn it, and being open to learning as well. Because a lot of people ain't open to learning or hearing nothing new. Right, I've been about for a minute. I've been doing the music for a minute. Been working with my dog, my brethren Jay Gold for a hot second. Like if I rewind, I've been fucking with a nigga like Hammer from way back when. He started off on a rapping thing way back yonder. We was doing we did the Fort Knox thing. Started fucking with our London niggas, Street Jeans. Started doing. This was back in the day when man didn't even remember when we were doing the internet thing. It was DVDs. You remember like the Smack DVDs and them kind of things there, the Come Up DVDs and them things there. All them time there, yeah, man was on it. The Risky Road CD DVDs and them things there, yeah. So from them times there, man was doing certain bits and bobs with them London brothers. They big up to the Street Dreams, man. Them YGLC, yeah, and all them, man. They started doing certain shows. The shows then started getting wild. Biggest show man did was what's it called? Carnival de Puebla. Like it's like a South American show that goes off in London. Madness. The footfall for the festival for the 2 or 3 days was supposed to be something like 90,000. So you can imagine, like obviously that's not 90,000 people in one space one time. That's like over the course of a couple of days, you know what I mean? But like, that was a mad crowd. That was a mad thing. I've done shows with let's see, who can we think of?
You don't tune with North one, I've heard you on North Tune, so
yeah, that's what.
Let's just give them. So who would you like to futurely work with then? Who's relevant in that?
I like some of the youngers them, you know. I like some of the youngers them that's going off with certain things now. Yeah, it's a mad thing. Like friggin' shout out to you, them Bugsy and Young T, on us go on and good. You get me?
Yeah, they're representing us.
No, it is. Why I'm saying that I'd like to work with a lot of the immediately it's a lot of NOS artists that just jump to mind. Some of the youngest them. I've got certain projects that I'm coming with, and one of them's like a filming project. And with this filming project, I'm trying to work with as many artists as I can. You know what I mean? So then you got man like, well, let's talk about friggin'. You got man like Mez. You got like Danny DeVito and all them. He's hard. I mean, you need to get yourself down to the Kingdom spot and bring yourself if you ain't been down here. You know what I mean? Cause this ain't about like what we got different. It's about what we got together. You know what I mean? People. It's about unity. Trust me.
One order.
This is what I'm trying to get across to you, man. Like, we can work together or we can work separate, but it's gonna start with yourself first. You know what I mean? Like, we need to keep this unity, but you need to start with yourself first. And the only way you're gonna get this working is if you start making some action. So this is like I'm trying to talk to man. So I'm smoking like a smoker, I'm zoning like a zoner. Hey, it's blue cheese or Kush is my aroma. We could get it together. I'll get it on my own car. I'm my mind, never the sideline. From I'm my owner, man ran off car they owe us. Now the banks try to loan us P. It's different accounts, but this one comes with a bonus. It's damn right my credit's straight, but I don't need credit, mate. I buy mine till my money's right, then I get it straight. Wait, don't get this twisted off. Top. Many times I've been fucked up. Walking around with my face down, feeling like a clown. Man try and help me out, and I fucked up. Now I'm face down again, feeling like a clown again, and feeling like it's tough luck. Tough luck, fuck luck blood, no such thing. I make my own, from I'm out here. Look, I'm out here in my Audi, I'm driving, thinking, I'm formulating plans, I got mans that I gotta link in. I'm trying to get there ASAP, gas pedals fully synced in, exhaust popping, cars upping, smoking something stinking, co-driving with my 50, but there's no co-signing. So I'm grinding on the system on my own road driving. Loyalty's just a word and enough of them got a nerve, but me and them match like white, gold and diamonds, it make me look better. Hey fella, how you gonna tell a brother like me and please start while you're jealous? While you do that, I'll hit the boom bap, touch up a few tracks, leave a few facts to make them nod and say true that. Like, he clap his thing up but he's almost still. Like, he got bars and I mean bars for real. And while you're trying to convince him that you're a boss for real, I'ma push my zombies, hit my buttons and just boss my wheel. Look, let's keep it real, you know what it is. You're down there in the Kingdom spot, you know what I mean? You need to get yourself down there and like put in what you got in first. In fact, look at it, look, we got the epic quote here, the hood to hood. If your name ain't on here, you ain't put your name on here, then come down here. You know what I mean? Get yourself involved in this, man. In real spots, real times. More to the fact though, start with yourself. You can't get down there, start with yourself in your home, in your own unity, in your own mind, in your own way you live. You know what it is. Rap! Nuts!
Street education all day, every day, you with me. Shout out Teco, you with me, huh? Myself, young raw daddy wins, huh? Raw hood wins, you with me? Robin Hood forever, ever, not in them general. And this is what it is, all the general need to unite and unify. Hood to hood, ends to end, city to city. You get me? One order, one love, one life.
Our people are poor, and you know damn real nobody wants to be poor. This play is gonna show how the pigs react when the people start to take community control over what belongs to them and liberate it back.